to share 2 books I finished this month that changed my perspectives on dating and relationships. So let's get into it. First being The Shift by Tinx. Change your perspective, not yourself. A guide to dating, self-worth, and becoming the main character of your life. A fellow YouTuber mentioned to me that she read this book after a breakup, and I immediately bought it that day. However, I didn't actually open the book until 5 months later. Now here we are. There are 3 things from this book that I wanted to share. First being the idea of crushes. People always say crushes are a lack of information, which they kind of are, but they can also be a point of insight, something to note. In the book, Tinx talks about how when you have a crush, it's important to note why you have that crush. Because obviously, if you have a crush on someone, there's something about them that is intriguing to you. There's a quality that they have that you admire. And a lot of the time when people have crushes, they tend to future trip, which is basically where you hyper focus on the crush. You're like, oh, this is me, my husband, this is me, my father, my children, my man, when it's like, you don't even know this person. There very well could just be like 1 or 2 things that you see in this person that you like, but you don't actually know them. So she has this idea of a crush list, which is basically where you write your crush's name, a few qualities about them that you like, and then a few qualities about them that you don't like or give you the ick. As someone who often has crushes, I made a crushes of my own. I only have 2 names on it, to be fair. One of which was someone who I met at the very beginning of this year. I haven't talked to them since, but meeting them in person, talking with them, they possess a lot of qualities that I admire. So I wrote their name down and I wrote down things that I admire about them. And I also wrote down things that I was kind of like, about. I may never talk to that person ever again, but I really enjoyed getting to know them, spending time with them, and just being around them. And maybe that's all it's ever gonna be. Like, sometimes you're just meant to experience people. And if something comes out of it, something comes out of it. But it's not something that I feel the need to hyper fixate on. And future trip, is this anybody? Man, like, no. It's okay. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The second person on my crushes is actually an athlete. And it's crazy because he's way young, but he's just so funny. And even with that, I can see how sense of humor is a big thing for me. Like, I can't be with someone who doesn't have a good sense of humor because I'd be cutting up. And if we don't have good banter, it's probably not gonna work out. Will I ever meet him? Probably not. Do I even remember what team he plays for? No. But it's just something to note. You have all these crushes, things that you like about them or admire about them, and maybe things that you're kind of about. You can go through that list and see, okay, these are things that I like in a partner. These are things that I don't like. And so as you go out into the world, dating and meeting people, you have an idea of things that you are looking for and things that you're just not into. The second thing I wanted to mention from this book is dating apps and social media and how they can give us a false sense of closeness with people we don't actually know. My time on the dating apps was very short-lived. I think they just became very gamified, getting caught up in the prompts. What photo should I post to get the most likes? It's pretty clear that some people are just on there to stroke their own ego. I didn't want to fall into that trap, so I removed myself from dating apps. But one thing I've definitely experienced on dating apps is matching with someone, getting to know them, and then going to their social media and just kind of seeing how they present themselves. Unpopular opinion, which maybe is actually popular, but I don't think it's fair to judge people when it comes to dating and friendship solely based on how they present themselves online, especially when it's someone who maybe you have met in real life, maybe once or twice, or maybe matched with on a dating app, or you met out and then you found their social media. Social media is definitely the highlight. You show what you want to show, what you're comfortable showing. But in real life, that's where you really are yourself. The people closest to you know the real you. And if you're getting to know someone, you would want to get to know the real them. You wouldn't want to be like, oh, well, they post things like this, so they're probably like this, or they think like this. Which sometimes, to be fair, is valid, but a lot of the times, like, we don't know these people. I've definitely experienced being pleasantly surprised by getting to know a person that I didn't think that I was going to get along with or like or admire or anything.
Forgot to mention how this can also go back to future tripping. You might see someone on social media and think that, wow, he's so cool because he does XYZ, he's so smart. Then you meet them in person and actually get to know them and find that this person actually isn't what I thought they were, and I kind of gassed it up and now I'm disappointed.
It's definitely gone both ways, but for the most part, in my experience, meeting people in real life, getting to know someone in real life and not getting caught up in how you're seeing them portray themselves online is so much more valuable. I see this a lot on TikTok too, where people are like, oh, well, this person viewed my story, so they like me, da 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 da. 9 times out of 10, they probably just viewed your story. If anything, they probably just like used your story to pre someone else's story. Like, I think people get so caught up in like the viewing social media stuff, which is understandable. Social media is designed to be in that way, but nothing beats in-person, genuine, one-on-one interactions. Third thing, I think my favorite part about this book was the last half of the book. One big thing she mentions that is also an intentional way that I try to live my life is investing in yourself and investing in your friendships. She shares an experience of her mom and how her mom had all these hopes and dreams when she was younger, but of course life happened. She got married, she had children, and she invested and poured all of her time and energy into that. Fast forward to her mom, you know, at the time now being in her 50s and not really feeling like she has a sense of her own. Tinx essentially encouraged her mom to try new hobbies, meet new people, like invest into community. Her mom ended up joining a class, meeting new women, investing into friendships, and that totally changed her life in her 50s. I honestly love how it's becoming more normalized now, more popular to kind of like be offline and spend time with your friends in real life, spend time with yourself in real life, do things that bring you joy, do things that spark your creativity, because that's really where you learn the most about yourself. I always say I'm someone who my purpose on this earth is relationships. My purpose on this earth is to experience God's love through relationships. I say that because I've really come to know myself and know God through my experiences in relationships, both platonic and non-platonic. People in my life, my friends, my family, like really and truly make life worth living. So yeah, that was a really good way to end the book. Reclaiming your life, embracing the ability to change, and embracing friendships. Second book I read is I Wish I Knew This Earlier, Lessons on Love by Toni Tone. I found out about this book from an interview that Toni did with her fiance, Taiwo. But I remember watching this and being like, wow, this couple is so equally yoked. I wasn't even done with the interview yet. I literally went and bought this book. I finished this book a day ago, but I feel like I need to read it again because the first part of the book I read, and the second part I listened to the audiobook because I was like doing stuff, which honestly isn't the same as reading. Unless you're listening to the audiobook and reading at the same time, just listening to the audiobook, you might as well just be listening to a podcast. Either way, it was a good read. I was reading this book and thinking, wow, Toni Tone is so rich because of her ability to extract lessons from her experiences. I definitely strive to be better at that. But as I was reading this book, I was just like, wow, 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 wow. Because she shares so much about her personal experiences and things that she learned. And I was like, well, yeah, that's what the book is called, literally Lessons I've Learned. But reading the book, it really felt like this is an older sister sharing her experiences with a younger sister. Which I know Toni is a woman, but this book is so applicable to anyone because these experiences of love and loss and self-worth and healing, these things are genderless. They're universal genderless experiences that everyone experiences. And so for that reason, I would really recommend this book to anyone and everyone. It feels very personal, it's very vulnerable, it's very reflective. It definitely has me thinking a lot about things I can revisit to extract, what did I learn from that one experience? What can I take with me into my next relationship, etc., etc., etc. It's just beautiful. Like, relationships really teach you so much if you allow them to. Like, people who go through things and don't reflect on it, people who go through things and just like blame everyone else, that's very scary. I think with these two books, just kind of reflecting on them, it reminds me like life is so rich. People are so rich. I really don't want to blab, but anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I'm very open to any book recommendations, regardless of genre. Last year I said that I would read more books, and I did read more books. Did I finish them? No. But this year I'm really gonna try to finish the books that I started reading last year. So far, I've finished these two, so that's great. But yeah, down for book recommendations. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Tell me that if it ain't me, if it ain't a party, then it's interview.